In these videos, we're going to go through operations with polynomials, so addition, subtraction, multiplication, and we'll even look at division. Now, a lot of this should be review, but it's good pieces to review before we go into our polynomial functions when we start graphing. So, to start off with just some vocabulary, let me go ahead and write down a polynomial for us. How about something like this? 4x to the 5th plus 3x cubed minus 5x squared plus x minus 1. Something like that. So that right there is a polynomial. So what makes it a polynomial is that it's an expression. So we have this expression here, and the terms are being summed together, so there's addition and subtraction works in there as well. And each term, so terms are separated by addition and subtraction, so each term is the product of a number and one or more variables. In this case, we just have one variable of x. So we have this multiplication of 4 times x, and then our variables can be raised to whole number powers. So for our whole number powers, be the idea of like 0, 1, 2, 3, on and on and on. So we can see an exponent of 5, exponent of 3, 2, 1. Technically at the end here, there's an x raised to the power of 0, but that would just turn it into a 1, so it's kind of redundant to write that out. So the key thing is that we're not seeing fractions or negatives in our exponents. They're just these positive whole numbers. The coefficient, or the more common term we use is the numerical coefficient, is the numerical part of each term. So 4, 3, -1, +1, -1, those are numerical coefficients. Degree refers to the exponent. So for our first term here, that would be degree 5, because of that 5 in the exponent. For our second term, that would be degree 3, degree 2, degree 1, degree 0. Now the degree of the polynomial, for that we go with the largest of the degrees. So I could list out the individual degrees for each term, but then in terms of the degree of the entire polynomial, you look for the highest exponent. So this would be a degree 5 polynomial that we're working with here. If a polynomial is only one term, we call it a monomial. That one always gives me a little trouble. Monomial, and then 2 terms would be a binomial, and then if it was 3 terms, a trinomial. And then anything beyond that, we just say polynomial. Okay, so now that we have that vocabulary, let's look at adding and subtracting polynomials. So in this first example here, we're adding 2 trinomials together. Now when you have addition between the two, you can just drop the parentheses. So I'm just going to drop those parentheses. So 4x squared plus 8x minus 3, and then like a positive 1 times a negative 5x squared, so that's going to be minus 5x squared plus 7x minus 6. And then we just start combining like terms. So I have this 4x squared and negative 5x squared. So 4 minus 5 is a negative 1, so we'll have negative x squared. We have a positive 8x and a positive 7x, so that'll be a positive 15x. And then we have a negative 3 and a negative 6 for negative 9. So for addition, drop the parentheses and then combine like terms. Now for subtraction, what we're going to do is the first polynomial that we have, the parentheses are just going to drop. So this will be 8y squared plus 2y minus 7. But then, for the second piece, because there's subtraction between them, what we're going to do is think of it like there's a negative 1 right there, and we're going to take that negative 1 and distribute it into the polynomial. So, negative 1 times 4y squared is a minus 4y squared. Negative 1 times negative 8y, positive 8y. and then negative 1 times positive 3, negative 3. So with that we have the parentheses gone, and now we can combine like terms. So we have an 8y squared minus 4y squared. That'll be 4y squared. We have a positive 2y and a positive 8y, so that'll be positive 10y. And negative 7 with a negative 3 minus 10. Alright, so this one here is just addition. So I'm just going to drop those parentheses. And then look for like terms, which, okay, we have 3xy and 8xy. So we have this 4y squared that doesn't have anything to add with. Also that 5x squared won't have anything to add with, so I'll just put that up front. Positive 3xy plus 8xy, so 3 plus 8 is 11. There's xy, and then negative 1 plus 7 is a positive 6, and then that's all done. Alright, reviewing some fractions here, and we have subtraction, so that negative is going to distribute into the parentheses. So we're going to have 2/3 t squared plus 2/5, and then minus 3/4 t plus 1/3, with distributing that negative in. Alright, the 2/3 t squared won't have anything to combine with. The negative 3/4 t won't have anything to combine with. But what I can add together is this positive 2/5 and this positive 1/3. In order to add them, they need the same denominator. So I can bump them up to a denominator of 15. With the first fraction, that would come through by multiplying the numerator and denominator by 3. For that 1/3, I need to multiply the numerator and denominator by 5. So then with that, we would have a 6/15 plus 5/15. And now I can combine those together with 6 plus 5 is 11 over the common denominator of 15. That's all done. So that's our addition and subtraction of polynomials.